In the wake of the school shooting in Parkland, Florida, that left 17 students and educators dead, there's a growing effort to make sure schools are better protected. Such shootings are actually rare. Statistically speaking, the chance a student will die at school from murder or suicide is nearly 1 in 2 million. But school officials know they have to plan for the worst and are under increasing pressure to add physical security measures and armed staff. Correspondent Lisa Stark of our partner Education Week reports from San Antonio for this week's segment on Making the Grade.
It's a typical day at Harlan High on the outskirts of San Antonio. A bustling lunchroom, AP classes, sports teams working out. But just like every other day, security cameras, classroom doors that lock from inside, armed officers keeping watch, and a single open entrance into the sprawling building.
We don't live in Mayberry anymore.
Officer Shane Allard oversees safety and security for the Northside Independent School District.
We know that it's a more violent world out there, and we have to do what we can to ensure the safety of our staff and students.
Here at Northside, they even have their own police force, more than 100 armed officers covering 117 schools and 106,000 students.
Is this office up and running 24/7?
24/7.
Chief Charlie Karn says dispatchers can monitor any of the district's 7,500 cameras. 2 officers are assigned to every high school, 1 at each middle school, and roving officers make checks at elementary schools.
We want to present a hard target. That's why we express to our officers, you make foot patrols around your school. You park your patrol vehicle in a highly visible place and let people know that there are police here.
While most districts don't have a dedicated police force, 48% of schools do have sworn law enforcement officers on campus at least once a week, up from 36% a decade ago. Now, after the Parkland tragedy, calls for adding more armed officers. Civil rights groups worry that will hurt poor Black and Latino students especially, who are more likely to face arrest at school. In some districts, there's talk of adding metal detectors or even arming teachers, an idea touted by the president.
If you had a teacher who was adept at firearms, they could very well end the attack very quickly.
But a recent Gallup poll found 73% of teachers are opposed to carrying guns.
So what type of areas would you want to focus on then?
Travis Weissler teaches history at Harlan High.
Personally, I am a gun owner, but I just feel like that there's too many what-if scenarios that could happen if you add teachers having weapons in the classroom. The amount of training that a police officer gets and how to respond to a situation is above and beyond what a teacher could learn.
Northside Superintendent Brian Woods says any new security measures must be carefully thought out.
There's always a reaction after a really scary incident like Parkland for the pendulum to swing towards a much more hardened building, and that is completely understandable. But I think we've always got to balance that with what's the core mission of this space, and what can we do that's reasonable and yet keeps this a school and not a prison.
Chief Carnes agrees.
In a free America, do we put serpentine wire around our school? Do we put bars on our windows? Do we put soldiers out front on the front doorstep and question everybody that approaches? No, we don't do that.
Michelle Gay learned firsthand how school security can fail. She lost her daughter Josephine at Sandy Hook Elementary.
She still, to this day, is the light of our lives and the center of our family.
After Sandy Hook, Gay co-founded Safe and Sound Schools. Its purpose?
Making sure that we have reasonable precautions, that we have layers of security in place.
Gay bristles at the term hardening schools, saying schools can be welcoming and still use common sense measures to help protect students.
Is there a gate there? Is there a camera that will alert the office staff that someone is now coming onto the campus?
And at the school entrance,
it needs to be locked. It's not open. It's not open to the public. It has to be a system whereby you are granted access.
Good morning.
That's what they're doing at Northside's elementary schools. At Virial Elementary, everyone is screened. Every parent, every visitor. Asked the reason for their visit. kept in a secure lobby while IDs are checked, a photo badge issued. Then staffers must unlock the doors to the school hallways. Nationwide, 94% of schools now report they control access during the school day.
Does it make the school less welcoming at all, do you think?
No, I think parents are open to it. They've seen that times have changed, unfortunately, and they do see that we're putting children's safety first.
And Principal Roxanne Gutierrez says there's another new layer of security here, the lobby itself, renovated to withstand bullets.
Before this, we still had this entrance, but it was made out of glass. And
So it wasn't bullet resistant?
No, it
and
was
this
not.
glass is bullet resistant?
Yes, it is.
The idea to try to prevent another Sandy Hook, where the gunman shot his way into the locked school. Northside has spent nearly $4 million for bullet-resistant lobbies at about half its 78 elementary schools. It's asking voters in May to okay money for the other half. Meantime, other security measures are required. The district conducts lockdown drills, as do 95% of schools nationwide. Here, securing the classroom takes seconds.
The all-call is made for lockdown. This window is covered. The teacher does come over here and remove this. And then the door is locked, and if someone is on the outside, they are not able to gain entry.
Adding modern security measures to schools can be costly. By one estimate, a minimum of $10 billion nationwide.
Security experts will tell you that technology only goes so far, that what schools really need to do is create a climate where students feel welcome and respected and willing to flag anything that seems threatening.
Harlan High School, Robert Harris.
Harlan High Principal Robert Harris says that is key.
And then creating that culture where it's okay to communicate to adults, create a culture where it's okay to call the safe line is something that we try to do from day one.
The Northside District has a 24-hour tip line, but it's only as good as the follow-up.
How do you determine if something is really a threat or not a threat?
It's always real. If it's a threat, it's taken seriously. It's taken as if it is real.
After Parkland, schools around the country faced a flood of shooting threats. Harlan ROTC student Kendall Dupner says her school was targeted.
There was a fake Instagram page made, and it said that they were going to shoot up the school. Kids came across this, and they were reporting it to the Safe Line and emailing the principal.
The district and school police scrambled to investigate. Junior James Williams picks up the story.
It turns out that it wasn't true. It was false. They did announce it to every family that it wasn't credible and that it's okay to come to school.
Despite that, some 40% of Harlan's students stayed home.
Did you come to school that day?
I did not come to school that day.
You didn't. Why not?
Because I feel like, fake or not, you never know what's going to happen. Like any past shootings, I'm pretty sure they didn't go to school thinking, oh, I might lose my life today. Because you never truly know when someone is joking, when someone is serious. So any chance like that, you want to make sure you're in the safest position possible.
The uncomfortable fact is that schools and students can never be 100% safe, but districts say they're always looking for ways to surround students with security. For Education Week and the PBS NewsHour, I'm Lisa Stark in San Antonio, Texas.